Hello, everyone. This talk is to introduce some of the other portals. I've already spoken about the portal of death or the gate of death, which is the first portal that we enter when we're working with the deep mysteries and working with esotericism. The next portal is the portal of the lion or the lion's gate. Now, these names, the portal of death, the lion's gate, or the door of the dragon, which is the third portal, they come from the Egyptian mystery schooling. And in our age, it's often useful for us to get a sense of what these words really mean when we're looking at the initiation path that we enter today. Having already spoken about the portal of death and its necessity and what we have to confront there, it's useful to consider the portal of the lion and why, in a way, it is the second doorway, the second gateway we pass through when unfolding this inner training, this inner schooling. The reason why it's connected to the second training is it's not linked to just our everyday self, our personal desires. This gateway connects us to more of these deeper familial patterns, particularly patterns of emotions and ways of being that are kind of handed down to us through the hereditary, through conditioning. And part of our ability to overcome these things in ourselves gives us this access to the realms of which these forces arise from. So the feelings that we experience are often very limited according to the patterning that we have been conditioned with, the limitations that we've been built on, and also the capacities of which have been limited in our expression. How often have we been told what we can or cannot feel as we develop as a child, and what is appropriate amount of feeling or tantruming or expressing, and how that shifts and is conditioned according to culture, according to family, according to traditions even. And when we recognize those limitations, we also know that what stands beyond them are qualities of feelings and presence of being that is beyond what we have to now known or allowed ourselves to know. Now, passing through the gate of the lion is a cautious process because we fear this unknown realm of feeling. In the ancient Egyptian times, it was connected also to the dog star Sirius, and the time of which the flooding of the Nile would occur, this flooding of these waters. And we can sometimes fear what the overwhelm of our emotional life. And when we are overwhelmed by our emotions, it is that feeling of being devoured or, in a way, wrung out or exhausted by the intensity of the emotional world. And so we introduce ourselves to this through first dealing with what lives in us through our hereditary patterns, overcoming, in a way, our limitations, learning as we need to learn to go beyond those limitations of feeling, of emotion, and be able to experience a deep wealth and well of beingness, a deep wealth of feeling that not just gives us experience, but nourishes us, which sustains us, which really gives us this deeper joy and mystery connection to life. More and more today, we are meeting people that feel life in itself in a way is grey, or we need something else, some sort of horror movie or some sort of drug to sort of shake up the inner world and make it more, to make it richer, because the inner world has become blunted. But when we are able to pass through the gate of the lion, we realize that life can be so much richer for us. If we can go beyond the limitations of what we have been given as a human experience and feel ourselves as also spiritual beings, we go beyond just the constructs of this personality and the constructs of the conditioning. So to pass through the gate of the lion, the lion's gate, we have to be prepared to meet the conditioning that has been handed down, the shoulds, the shouldn'ts, the coulds, the couldn'ts, the limitations. You know, those patterns that keep repeating themselves. Even though you enter into a different relationship, the same sequence of thoughts and feelings arise, the same dynamic that puts you to a limitation that you feel you can't go beyond. Or this is where the lion, that is the head of the animal kingdom, the head in a way of the astral realm, that feeling realm, can extend beyond the limited quota that you have been conditioned to. Now, this isn't going to take you, if you've gone through the portal of death first and then into the portal of lion, it won't take you out of your depth. You don't need to fear being devoured by this intensity. Instead, you can feel, wow, this is so nurturing to the soul, to have this depth of feeling, this joy of life, this engagement with the mystery. And although life is challenging and difficult, it is so rich. And it is that richness that is opened up when we enter through the gate of the lion. So if you haven't already, listen to the portal of death, and working with the virtues allows us to deepen our connection to the gentle guidance of moving the conditioned feelings into stronger and stronger powers of inner capacity. Thank you, everyone.